the $1,330 on a monthly basis, and what this means for anyone receiving any type of benefit administered by the Social Security Administration, especially those of you in this community that watch these videos, receiving any of those benefits like retirement, SSDI, disability benefits, survivor, spousal, SSI, supplemental security income, and even VA and RRB. Now, this $1,330 on a monthly basis is actually incredibly important right now in early 2026 and realistically through the entire year of 2026, along with some other very high dollar amounts, which I will be sharing with you here in just a minute as well, because I've seen some very concerning comments down below in the comment section from many of you in this community over the last week or so, as I had a video out last week one day, and on that video, along with some other follow-up videos, I saw some very sad and concerning and very alarming comments that I want to take some time and talk about here in this video, along with that $1,330 on a monthly basis and what that actually means. Now, as I talk through this, I'm going to pop some new comments up on the screen for you. I was in the comment section yesterday pulling out pages and pages and pages worth of comments from those of you in the community here that have reached out to Chapter, again, there, to get some free help with your Medicare plan, whether you're on Medicare, to get the right and the proper Medicare plan and coverages for you and your personal needs, for your initial enrollment in Medicare, whatever it happens to be. Amazing stuff. I got multiple pages worth of comments. I'm going to pop them up here so you can read through them as I'm talking here. Amazing stuff again. About 10,000 of you in this community, just in the last year alone, have called Chapter there with the phone number, collectively saving over $2 million just in the last year, which is absolutely incredible. Which, by the way, quick little secret, my secret goal by the end of this year is to help those of you in this community collectively save $10 million by the end of this year, 2026. Again, by calling Chapter there to get free help with your Medicare. Let's see if we can do it. I don't know. That's maybe a little bit of an ambitious goal, but I'm fine with that, right? I'd love to see $10 million in your pocket versus in the pockets of the insurance providers. Anyway, if you're on Medicare, I know this has been a massive struggle for a lot of people so far this year. Please call Chapter. Phone number's there for you. Call them, see what they can do for you. I think you may be shocked with your optionality and flexibility. Even early on right now in 2026, you probably have some options. Call them. I think you're going to be surprised. Anyway, drop a comment down below after you do. Use the word Chapter in your comment. Let me know how it goes. I'll grab your comment and I'll add it to my list of pages and pages and pages of comments. Amazing stuff. All right, anyway, I look forward to reading your comments, by the way. It's free, 100% free, by the way, as well as, obviously you can see there. All right, anyway. So this $1,330 on a monthly basis, I want to spend a minute here and talk about this because this is a major, major issue for a lot of people, okay? Now, what is this? $1,330 on a monthly basis is the federal poverty line right now in 2026. So back, the middle of the month of January. So what is this? I don't know, 3 weeks ago now, call it 3 weeks. It was, 2.5, 3 weeks ago or so, give or take a little bit. It was in the middle of January. The new federal poverty line was released for 2026, coming in at $15,960 on a monthly basis. On an annualized basis for an individual, which divides out to $1,330 on a monthly basis for an individual. And for a household of two, it's $21,640 for a household of two, okay? Now, here's the problem. Last week, I had a video out where I was talking about this $15,960 and the $21,640 on an annualized basis of income to be at the federal poverty line. If your income is above that level, then you're, you're above the federal poverty line. But if your income is below that threshold, again, $1,330 a month, then you're below the federal poverty line as an individual, a household of one. Problem with this is a lot of you in this community that watch these videos are below the federal poverty line. Obviously, not every single person. There's a lot of people out there that are well below the federal poverty line. Now, here's the problem with this. The whole deal is, especially with SSI, right? So SSI, you know the deal with SSI. These benefits are supposed to be at parity with the federal poverty line. That's the deal with SSI. However, with Social Security, there's no rule, there's no legislation, there's nothing like that. Well, nothing as prominent as the SSI Restoration Act, but that's just for SSI benefits. But essentially, there's nothing out there that safeguards Social Security benefits to be at parity with or above the federal poverty line. In fact, the special minimum benefit for Social Security beneficiaries is like $54 right now. It's like $54 and some change. I don't remember the exact number, but it's very low. It's a little over $50. What a joke, right? So literally somebody could be getting on Social Security anywhere between, say, $54 and, $5,251 a month, right? That's a huge, huge, huge difference in benefit type. My point with this is there's a huge discrepancy across the board as far as who gets what out of Social Security, right? Now, over the years, there have been pieces of legislation, or I shouldn't say pieces of legislation, there's been proposals. They haven't been technically formal pieces of legislation, but there have been proposals introduced that have said, hey, maybe we should institute a minimum benefit at equal to the federal poverty line for Social Security beneficiaries. Gee, wouldn't that be a concept, right? How amazing would that be if they lifted all benefits within Social Security at least to a minimum of the federal poverty line? That'd be incredible, right? I mean, just imagine that. Anybody below the federal poverty line would be brought up to it. Now, here's the problem. They always say the same thing. Who's going to pay? Who's going to pay for this, right? Well, there's a lot of ways that they could pay for this. But the deal is that as of right now, there's about 40 million people in the United States that are living below the federal poverty line, that are literally in poverty, over 40 million people. At any given time, there's about 11 million people who are seniors, 65 plus, that are below the federal poverty line. It's a lot of people, right? Now, do you think this would be a massive political win if they could lift everybody on Social Security up to at least a minimum of the federal poverty line? Absolutely, right? This would be a huge, huge deal. Now, based on the comments that I've seen down below in the comment section, again, over the last week or so, give or take a little bit since I had that video out last week, where I was talking about the new federal poverty line and all the details behind this, I saw a bunch of comments, again, over the last week or so that have come out and said, hey, like, I'm getting XYZ per a dollar amount on my monthly benefit. Most of these comments are saying, benefit amounts well below the federal poverty line. That's a problem, right? So anyway, what I'm suggesting is this. Every so often I write letters. It's not all that often. In fact, sitting over here somewhere, I think I have a stack here, a whole stack of comments, a whole stack of papers. I write these letters every so often. My question to you is this. Would you like me to write one of these letters where I reach out to lawmakers and I'm like, hey, here's the situation. Obviously, I would have to do a lot more research on this to see the current statistics as far as the most accurate numbers that I can find as far as how many people are currently living in poverty, how many of those people are on Social Security, how many of those people are people with disabilities, how many of those people are people that are 65 plus, seniors. Again, the list goes on and on. I'd have to do all that research, find all the statistics and things like that. But anyway, draft up a letter and be like, hey, lawmakers, look at the situation here. We've got this massive situation within Social Security. People are getting anywhere between $54 and $5,251 a month out of Social Security, and literally every single dollar amount in between for 75 plus million people every single month, right? It's a lot of people that are relying on these benefits. So point being is that, again, the federal poverty line is there for a reason. It's there for a reason to basically look at everybody across the country and be like, where is everybody? It's just a guideline on the federal level that's like, hey, we're going to use this to determine everybody's eligibility for access to a bunch of these different government programs. But then it also continues to increase every single year. The federal poverty line does. Now, in fact, for 2026 over 2025, the federal poverty line increased by 1.98%, which is interesting because we were actually projecting a 4.9% increase on the federal poverty line, but it increased, less than half of that, whatever the math is on that, less than half of what was being projected a few months ago, which is kind of interesting as well, right? But either way, the federal poverty line continues to increase and people continue to fall behind further and further because incomes are not keeping up with everything that's going on. The cost of living, again, the same old song and dance we've heard a million times over the last several years, is that fixed income benefits, Social Security beneficiaries are not keeping up with the real cost of living, and therefore benefits and incomes are falling behind, and therefore more and more people are falling into poverty, right? So is this a little bit of a situation or not, right? I would say, based on the numbers, based on what we're seeing out there, with more and more people living in poverty, especially people with disabilities, seniors, Social Security beneficiaries, this becoming a major issue. All right, so anyway, drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to draft one of these letters. In fact, I really want to do this, but I really want to hear from you as well. Is this something that you would think like, hey, do you think this is something that I should pursue? Draft up one of these letters and be like, listen up, lawmakers. Here's the situation. There's, X number of people living in poverty. There's, this many people suspected to be on Social Security below the federal poverty line, people with disabilities, people that are seniors, fixed income beneficiaries. If we could do a simple lifting of the federal poverty, benefits up to the federal poverty line, which again is going to cost money. Everything costs money. They blow money left and right on all kinds of dumb stuff constantly, right? If they would just stop some of that, they could probably help out a bunch of people in this country in a pretty massive way, and it wouldn't be that hard to do, right? Here's the deal as well. The president continues to come out and brag about how much money he's bringing in through tariff revenue. I mean, seriously, peel some of that tariff revenue off and maybe lift some people out of poverty. Gee, I don't know. Maybe we should do that, right? I mean, he keeps talking about it. He keeps bragging the hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff revenue. Dude, distribute some of it then. If you have so much freaking money, then give some of it to the people that actually need it rather than blowing it on all kinds of other stupid stuff that they're doing, right? Anyway, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this, but it just seems like in a situation where these beneficiaries continue to fall behind more and more every single year, it just seems like, I don't know, we're on a kind of a trajectory over the last 5 or 6 years here where things just are not really adding up anymore. The beneficiaries are getting hammered. Not sure how else to say that in a nice way. I think we can all agree. Seniors, people with disabilities, Social Security beneficiaries are getting absolutely hammered lately financially, and it's not a fun situation. But if we could at least keep parity with the federal poverty line, well, now we might be talking, right? It would instantly lift people out of poverty, which, in my opinion, is actually a really, really good sales point to lawmakers and the administration. Be like, look at this. You could lift, 10, 15, 20 million people out of poverty almost instantly by doing this. Would that be a political win? Yeah. Would that help out a lot of people? Yeah. Where would that money go? When the people get the money, where would it go? Instantly into the economy. Would that grow the economy? Yeah. Would it be stimulative to the economy? Yep. Is it literally everything that the administration wants? Yep. Bingo, it is, right? Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. I just saw some comments and I thought about it. I'm like, this is very concerning to see this many people living on $760 a month, $994 a month from SSI, $1,000 a month. Like, it's not easy anymore. 10 years ago, fine. The cost of living wasn't 30-40% higher than it is like it is right now, right? The last few years here, prices on everything have gone up 25, 30, even more percent than that, depending what you're talking about. And yet our incomes have gone up like, I don't know, in the last 5-6 years, have gone up like 20%, 22%. It doesn't seem real, but it is because of the COLAs. But again, Medicare Part B premium, just like this year, continues to eat away the majority of that in a huge way. All right, anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Please drop your comments down below. Otherwise, again, if you're on Medicare, call chapter. Again, I'll add your comment here. Once you call them, drop a comment down below. Let me know how it goes. Phone number's there for you. It's, again, free. I have nothing to sell you on this channel, okay? I want to make that very clear. Look everywhere on this channel, high and low, inside and out, wherever you want to look. I've got nothing to sell you. I don't have some masterclass. I don't have some course. I don't have some special website. I don't have some crap product. I don't have anything. Everything here on this channel is 100% free. Videos are free. Live streams are free. Calling chapter there is free. Everything is free here, okay? I've got nothing to sell you, and realistically, I probably never will have anything to sell you because I don't want to. I don't want to spend my time doing that, and honestly, I don't want to sit here and be like, buy my junk. I don't want to do that. There's plenty of other people here on YouTube that do that. I don't want to be one of those people, but I do have free stuff for you. Plenty of free stuff, okay? Call chapter there. Let them help you. If you're on Medicare, if you need to enroll in Medicare, if you hate your Medicare plan, if you can't see your doctor anymore, if you feel like your prescriptions are way too expensive, whatever the situation is, seriously, tons of people in this community have already called them so far this year, getting a ton of help. In fact, about 1,000 people so far just this year in 2026 have already called them. Over 10,000 people in the last 1 year alone, collectively saving over $2 million. Amazing stuff. Call chapter there, phone number's there, free. After you talk to them, drop a comment down below. Let me know how it goes. I'll grab your comment. I'll add it to my ongoing stack, which I'll continue to feature in upcoming videos. and whatever else it takes. Anyway, I'm here for you. Thank you so much for watching this. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Buttons down below. Otherwise, drop your comments down below. Let me know how it goes after you talk to Chapter there. I look forward to reading your comment. It's amazing. I love reading those comments and how much people are saving. It's really cool. All right, anyway, enjoy your day. Take care. Hope this helps, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.